Hello, my soul friends, and welcome to your tarot reading. My name is Emery, and today I'm going to help you find out what you need to know about love. All you need to do to receive this psychic message is pick one of these three piles in front of you. To help you make that decision, you just need to look at each of these images, and whatever triggers your intuition, that is going to be your message. So let's go ahead and look at these images up close. Pile 1 is a leaf. Pile 2 is a flower pot. And pile 3 is a rose. So if you need to, you can pause the video and meditate on each of those images. But once your intuition has been triggered, you can go ahead and go to the description or comments of this video to go directly to that pile's link. Or if it's easier, you can use the time bar and go and scroll to that chapter in the video, and that will be your reading. So let's go ahead and get started right now. Welcome to your reading, pile 1, my leaf pile. Let's go ahead and get started by pulling one card from the Lover's Oracle to figure out what your emotional state is right now, so that way you'll know what you need to focus on when it comes to love. Universe, what is pile 1's emotional state right now? What is pile 1's emotional state? All right, your first card is My Beloved. Though we may be physically apart, spiritually we are always united. For love transcends space and time. Nothing is missing. On the back we have this couple, and one of them is almost like a guardian angel. So what I am sensing with this particular card is that your emotional state right now is that there is some sort of physical separation between you and your true love, and their higher self is protecting you. Their higher self is trying to help unite them. So if you are single, this is a sign that your true love, the person that you are meant to be with, is working their way towards you. And if you are in a relationship and you feel like it's the right relationship, there could be something that you may or may not know is kind of pushing you apart, but the higher version of your other half self is working to repair that. And there is probably a minority who chose this pile who are in a relationship and it's not the right one for them, but you're going to figure out if that's true for you throughout the rest of this pile. So let's go ahead and get some details on your emotional state. And for this, we are going to use the Light Seers Tarot deck. Universe, what are some details about this emotional state? What does pile 1 need to know about their emotional state? What is important and significant? All right. Your first card here is the Wheel of Fortune. And since this card is upright, that is a wonderful and positive sign that something really, really good is going to happen to you soon. Not only good things, but mostly good things are going to orient you towards true love. And I love seeing that for you. The next card is the Three of Cups reverse. This is about not feeling united to a social energy. This could be a sign for those of you who are single that you may struggle to meet your true love through social connections. It's not the right energy. There's going to be some other way that you get together, either through online dating or through what's called a meet cute, a fated event where you are thrown together by unusual circumstances, and not necessarily through social networking, right? Like through people you know. You're not going to meet somebody through people you know. For those of you who do arranged marriages, this is a sign that your true love is not going to be through an arranged marriage. You're going to want to reject that. And for those of you who are in a relationship, this could mean one of two things. The first is that you need to spend less time with friends and family and more time with your significant other. That is going to be how you can bridge the gap. For those of you who might be in a relationship that isn't working out, this could be a sign that your other half is cheating on you and you need to break up with them. So really, right now, search within yourself and figure out if you're in a relationship, if you feel like you need to be spending more time with your partner, or if you are feeling as if there's someone intruding in your life, because that is going to help you determine if your current relationship is meant to be, or if your current relationship is actually a negative for you. So let's get to the second question, which is about what's influencing you, what is really causing this energy in this reading to be supercharged. So, universe, what does pile 1 need to know about their current influences? What do we need to know about their current influences? What is significant? And we're going to pull 5 cards for this pile. The first card is the Page of Swords reversed. This could be a sign of a negative person or a negative impulse. But let's get some context. We have the Queen of Pentacles reversed. This is another person card. Let's get the full context before I commit to a meaning. We have the Magician reversed. Could be another person, it could be you. The fourth card is the Star, fate, but an upright, so that's a good sign. And then the fifth card is Death or reverse, but it's upright, and that is a good sign of personal transformation. So as I am looking at these 5 cards, and I know that we have this 3 of Cups negative social influence with these 3-person cards, I am sensing that there is some sort of person who is trying to intrude into your life in a negative way. This Page of Swords person could be impulsive. They could be a really bad communicator. They could say really, really hurtful things. And this is affecting your relationship with your significant other or the person that you will eventually meet if you are single. Now, the Queen of Pentacles cards could represent you. Generally speaking, in a pick a card reading, I interpret all the feminine cards as the person I'm reading for. And the Magician card, in this case, would likely represent your significant other or your true love. And I am sensing that this negative influence, this person who is trying to intrude into your life, is making it so you can't make your relationship fertile and abundant. You can't make it a tangible reality. And it's also causing problems for your true love. They don't have the resources to really bridge the gap when it comes to your relationship, to really bridge that physical distance and get closer to you. They are feeling like they don't have what they need to succeed. So there is definitely somebody in your life, or there will be soon, who is obstructing your relationship with your true love. Now, for those of you who are dealing with your true love directly, or you're about ready to meet them, you need to be on the lookout for somebody who wants to prevent that from it taking place, someone who's trying to intrude. Now, this could be like the other woman or the other man, but this could also be, for example, for those of you who maybe from a more traditional culture and you are in an arranged marriage situation, this could be a family member who is trying to get you to marry someone that they have picked out for you, but it's just not going to work. That is the kind of poor communication, these hurt feelings that is being activated. Now, for those of you who aren't from a traditional culture or you aren't interested in an arranged marriage, this could be anyone. It could be a romantic intruder, but it could also be a family member or friend. Regardless of who this identity of this person is, this is a very, very strong sign that you need to reject the social influences that are around you and really focus on your direct relationship with your true love. Because if you do not do that, they have the power to destroy your relationship. So we do have two positive cards here, these two positive influences. And these are influences that are both in your control and out of your control. So the star here upright is a sign that more likely than not, the outcome of this situation is going to be positive, or it's at least going to be conducive to your well-being. But in order to really activate that, in order to accept that door of fate, you need to really embrace the death and rebirth card. This is personal transformation, and the personal transformation that is being called for is for you to reject social interference. So let's go ahead and figure out what it is you truly desire. Is it in alignment with what we're seeing in the spread today? So, universe, what is pile one truly desiring right now? What do they need to know? All right, let's see what it is you truly desire, and we're going to keep using the Light Seers Tarot deck. And I want to pull 3 cards about what you need to know when it comes to what you truly desire. All right, your first card is the Empress reverse. So you have the ability to really create a very tangible relationship. However, you aren't certain that you want to commit to it yet. This could be a sign that you are afraid to either get married, move in together, or have kids. There's some sort of commitment energy, commitment in a relationship that you are not ready for. That doesn't mean that you aren't going to do it in the future. It just means that it's not right now. So you need to check in with your true love when you meet them, or if you're already in contact with them, and make sure that you are on the same page when it comes to values of long-term commitment. And if you're not on the same page, you need to reconcile those differences. You need to negotiate and make sure both of you feel like you are winners in the compromise. This could also be a sign for some of you that you want to have this symbol of commitment, but you aren't able to do it. Maybe you can't have children, maybe you can't afford to buy a house, maybe you can't afford to buy a wedding. For those of you who are in a more traditional culture and you are worried about an arranged marriage, you may feel that you can't pursue your own desire to have a love match because you can't afford it. And that is making you really, really worried. You may be trying to instead pick a more rational option for love. So I am sensing that you are afraid that you can't have what you want, and that is causing a physical distance between you and your romantic partner. The next card is the Two of Cups reverse. Again, another sign that you are afraid of commitment. And then the third card is the Six of Swords reverse. This is about wanting to return to something in the past, feeling like you gave up too much. So I do think what these 3 cards are indicating is that you are very, very afraid of commitment. You are afraid of making the wrong choice, and you want to retreat. You want to return. You want to return to something that isn't as committed. So for those who are single, yes, you want to meet your true love, but you want things to go very, very slow. For those of you who are in a relationship, you don't want to progress to the next stage right now. You just want to enjoy things as they are. And for those of you who are afraid that you may be in a relationship that isn't working out, this could be a sign with the Two of Cups that you feel your partner isn't as committed to you. You feel as if you have to turn back the clock and regain their love. So I am definitely sensing that there is a problem with values here. So whoever you are, when it comes to the manifestation of this energy, you are going to need to check in with your romantic partner and ask them, what are your commitments? What are your goals when it comes to a relationship? And then figure out if you are on the page on the same page right now. And if you aren't, if you can compromise. And if you can't compromise, could it just be that it's not the right time? Maybe you don't want to have kids, but you want to have kids 5 years from now. And your partner also wants to have kids and they want to have them now, but they would be okay with waiting 5 years. So it is a discussion you need to have, is a discussion on values. And I think this will also reveal, for those of you who are in a relationship, that there is someone who is perhaps cheating on you or who isn't as committed to you. You're going to be able to see their true intentions, their true feelings, and their shadows when you have that values conversation. So let's go ahead and use the Moonology Oracle deck to figure out what are some more action steps that you can take to really manifest a positive outcome for yourself. And I'm going to draw 2 cards here. Universe, what are some action steps that pile 1 can take to their benefit? What can they do? What is within their power? So the first card here is a new start is coming, new moon. This is a wonderful sign. This is a sign that things are going to go in your favor, but you are going to have to embrace that personal transformation. You are going to have to really embrace not necessarily becoming a new person, but becoming the true you. And so you really need to ask yourself, is there something about the way you act in a relationship or aim in a relationship that needs to change for the better? Because that is what you need to do. This is your new chapter. This is your new chance. For those of you who are single or you're wanting to have a love match, but you're in an arranged marriage situation, then you need to bravely assert yourself and your desires to find love. So that is something to give in mind. And obviously, if you are unfortunately in that situation where you feel like your partner may be cheating on you, this is a sign that you may need to break up and start over. But obviously, that is a very small minority of this pile. For those of you who are already in a relationship, this is just an exciting new chapter for you both. The next card here is your dreams need a practical plan, a full moon in Taurus. So this goes back to the values question, right? So it's okay right now, because I do think for many of you, you aren't ready for that big symbol of commitment, but you do need to have a plan in the future, right? This would be as if a couple is together and they have different ideas about long-term commitment, having kids, buying a house, and they don't want to commit to it right now, but they do know that they need to have a deadline, a time limit. So when it comes to moving in together, maybe you don't want to move in together right now, but you need to have a discussion on when that will be, when that part of your relationship needs to manifest. So you need to have a timeline. It doesn't have to be exact to the day, but you need to talk with your true love, either when you meet them or if you're already in a relationship with them, and iron out the details. That is absolutely crucial to love. And this may sound like it's not very romantic, but Taurus is ruled by Venus, and Venus is the sign, the astrological sign of love. Having that plan in mind can build anticipation, can build excitement, but it can also let you enjoy things as they are right now. Enjoy your current phase. And then when you are ready to move on, when you are ready to have that new start, it can be really exciting. Sort of like when you plan a vacation, you get excited as you are planning it, and then when it finally happens, you are just thrilled to actually be manifesting that goal. But obviously you are enjoying building up to that vacation, planning for it, talking about it. So this can actually be a very, very exciting card. So the last thing I want to do is pull 3 more cards for the Light Seers Tarot deck on your likely outcome. And this would be if you completely ignored everything in this reading today, what you are trending towards, what you are likely to manifest. That way we can see what you are currently likely to experience. And if there is something that you need to change, we will be able to see what needs to be changed. So, universe, what is the likely outcome for pile 1 right now? What are they going towards? What do they need to know? The first card is Ace of Wands, a wonderful card when it comes to love. This is about starting a new romance. This is about starting a new romantic chapter. There's a lot of passion and chemistry here. So there is just wonderful romantic energy here. And it's also a sign that if you are afraid of a commitment, right now, in the future, you are going to be able to have that commitment. You are going to be able to emotionally process everything you need to do and feel secure. That way you can start that. So it will happen. The next card is the Ace of Pentacles. However, I don't think it's going to happen right now. You are going to have the feeling and desire to make it before it becomes a reality. So this is a strong sign that it's going to take a while. So if you, for example, you're single and you want to fall in love, but even though you desire it and you want it, it's probably not going to happen in the next 3 days. It's probably not going to happen really, really quickly. But if you want it to happen sooner, if you want it to manifest quicker, then you need to create a plan. You need to create a plan of action. You need to really empower yourself to act on your passions. So figure out what your passion is, create a plan for how to manifest it, and then just go for it. That is going to be how you manifest your future to be what you want when it comes to love. And then your last card today is the Nine of Cups. This is a card of emotional fulfillment or almost emotional fulfillment. It's also a card of wishes coming true. It is a card of having almost everything you want, and I do think that is a manifestation of you transitioning into manifesting your desires, but it not being completely mature yet. So I am seeing an extended timeline here. For those of you who are single, maybe you want to fall in love and you meet someone, but you're not going to get married to them the next day, right? Be aware that for you, you need to experience love gradually. You need to enjoy the process. For those of you who are in a relationship, this is just a sign that things are progressing quite nicely. It's probably going to work out in your favor, but there is a little bit of slowing down, and I think that could just be you aren't talking about your values enough in order to make that plan. But once you do, once you build that anticipation, things are going to go very, very well for you. And then for the small minority, and this is really a small minority of people who feel like your relationship isn't the right one, this is just a confirmation from the universe. You are going to find the right one. Obviously not right away, but they are a lot closer than you think. And that is because your true love's higher self is doing everything they can to bring you together. So wonderful spread, pile 1. I love seeing it. This is a wonderful manifestation of a beautiful future. If you resonated with this reading, be sure to like the video and subscribe for more. You can also go into the description for links to my socials, to book a private reading, or to tip me on Ko-Fi. Otherwise, pile 1, I really loved reading for you today, and I wish you many blessings. Hello, pile 2, my flower pot pile, and welcome to your reading. We are going to go ahead and get started by looking into your emotional state when it comes to what you need to know about love. And to get that started, we are going to pull one card from the Lover's Oracle just to see what your emotional state in love is like right now. So, universe, what is pile 2's emotional state? What would you like pile 2 to know right now, which is useful and significant? All right, your first card is, it is important right now to take a step back and to spend some time alone. Instead of placing your focus on another, now is the time to give to yourself. So what this is saying is that in order for you to really be able to give love, you have to first practice with yourself. Now this could be because you have some wounds that you need to tend to, or that you aren't actively seeing love as an act and not just something that you receive. So let's go ahead and get some details to figure out what is going on here. And to get those details, we are going to use the Light Seers Tarot deck and pull 2 cards. Universe, what are the details here? What would you like pile 2 to know? What is important? All right, your first card is the 7 of Wands reversed. This is about no longer being in a high position. This could be a sign that you were brought down to earth, that you were either humbled or put into a worse position. The good thing is that now you aren't as much under attack, and that's going to give you some time to really give yourself self-care. But you may find that there's not as much action going on when it comes to your relationships and with love. The next card is the Queen of Pentacles reversed. This represents you. This represents your inability to manifest or make love tangible. And I strongly see this as an indication of love being abstract to you instead of being something that is proven or given evidence to. And so when you focus on yourself, that's not actually being selfish. That is giving you time to experiment and see what it is that you need to do, what you're capable of doing to express love. And by practicing on yourself, you're going to be able to see what works for you, and then you're going to be able to give it towards other people. But it's also going to teach you what you need to be able to receive. You can't really be in a relationship until you truly understand what your love language is. Everyone has different love languages. Sometimes they have multiple love languages. I'll include a link in the description of the video so that way you can go look it up. But for example, my love language is giving and receiving gifts. I never get really good gifts though, but I also really like quality time. And some people, they like words of affirmation or acts of service. So there are a lot of different options, and when you practice those love languages on yourself, you're going to know what you need to receive and also what you're able to give. For example, you may have a love language that you like receiving, but you're not as good as giving it to other people. This is probably really true for people who need words of affirmation. They need to receive those words of affirmation, but maybe they don't have the ability to give them to other people. So knowing where you are on the love language scale will help you to understand how you can find new partners if you are currently single, or if you are in a relationship, how you can transform that relationship to be something that you can truly make the most of. So now we are going to see what is influencing you in love. We're going to see what is important to really change your love circumstances. So we're going to use the Light Seers Tarot deck again. Universe, in 5 cards, what is influencing pile 2 when it comes to love? What is influencing pile 2? Why? Good or bad, what is affecting them? So your first card is the 6 of Swords reversed. This is about backtracking or not making the necessary transition. Let's get the next card for context. The 8 of Cups, this is about an emotional return. So there definitely seems to be some sort of regression It could be a necessary regression. It could be needing to go through this emotional self-care stage. It is a very strong influence. You're really being pushed towards it. It's really not optional. This experience you're either having right now or about to have is absolutely crucial to your well-being. The third card is the death rebirth card, but it's reversed. So this is about not making transformation. The fourth card is the world reversed, the world turned upside down. And then the final card is the Two of Pentacles, weighing a lot of things at once, doing multiple things, but being able to do it successfully. So what I am seeing with these 5 cards is a strong indication that you really aren't blamed. Maybe some of you need to be humbled, but you're not truly at fault for your current predicament, your either inability to receive the love you deserve or to give the love that other people deserve. There's some sort of disconnect. And it's not necessarily about you changing as a person, but it is about you going back to past lessons. So you are somewhat familiar with what you need to do. You just need to become an expert at it, and this self-care stage will help you do that. And I do think with the world reversed, either your current life is turned upside down or you need to turn your life upside down so that way you can really master that lesson that I think you're already mostly proficient at, but you need to do like the last lessons in order to really understand what you need to do. And the universe is completely confident that you are going to be able to do this. So this is a really good sign. Even though your first few cards seemed a little bit negative, it just seems as if there is something about your current or near future circumstances that is about making the most of your romantic future and giving you the best possible outcome that you could honestly have. So let's go ahead and see what it is that you truly desire. And what you truly desire may or may not be related to the cards that we've currently pulled, but let's see what it is that you are wanting, if it is in conflict with what is influencing you, what the universe is trying to steer you towards, or if you are united. So, universe, what is pile 2's true desire? What is it they truly want when it comes to love? And this may be something you already know, or it may be something that you know deep down inside, but you need it verbalized in this reading. Universe, what is it that pile 2 truly desires? We're going to pull 3 cards. The first card is the Hermit reverse. So you don't want to be alone. In a love reading, that is a pretty traditional card that I would expect. But I do think this card is also a sign that you feel you have learned the lessons that you need to, and you want to retreat from your romantic seclusion and really go out into the world. You feel like you are a worthy person, and I think that really matches with your current cards. I think it is confirmed by your cards that you are just finishing up the last part of the lessons in order to have love. So this is a really good confirmation. You and the universe do seem to be in alignment when it comes to setting you on the right romantic path. The next card is the 8 of Wands. This is a card of fast-moving passion. You want things to happen quicker than they currently are. So even though you are united with the universe, even though you are on the same page, you aren't basically breaking from the universe's plan for you, you do want things to happen quicker than they are currently. And I do think that this may be why you are trying to balance more than one thing at once. You're probably trying to do a whole bunch of things, especially when it comes to relationships, but this may be true throughout the rest of your life. And you are frustrated if you are single that you haven't met somebody, if you're in a relationship, that your relationship either isn't going to the next stage or you aren't receiving the kind of affection that you would like. But I do think that you are going through the necessary growing pains in order to get to where you want anyway. It's just going to happen a little bit slower than you expected. The next card is the Hierophant reverse. So you don't want things to be in this tidy little order. You don't want things to be in like the perfect sequence. You just want to go from A to B and not have to go through all of the stages that it seems like the universe is trying to make you go through. For some of you, this could also be a sign that perhaps you don't view relationships or love in the traditional way. Maybe you're single and you just want to hook up. Maybe you're in a relationship and you have non-traditional views about commitment. Or maybe you just want to do something different. Like you still want to be in a traditional relationship, but you want something to be a little bit spicier or different from how they currently are. And you are feeling as if the universe is making you go through all of these lessons, and maybe they are necessary, but at the same time, you're thinking, I just want to have that wonderful passion, that wonderful fun. And so you are a little bit frustrated with these lessons. You just want to get them over with and focus on attraction, focus on passion and chemistry. So I'm not seeing anything negative here. I am just seeing for you a little bit of frustration that it's not going as quickly as you would like. But I think the universe is completely aware that you're kind of at odds when it comes to speed, but I don't think you are that far off of the universe's timeline. It's just instead of going at 2 times speed, you are going at 1.25 speed, right? Like you're trying to fast forward the video of your life, but it has to go at the standard pace or slightly faster, but not the super fast pace that you were hoping for. So now we are going to see what action steps you can take. These action steps are things that are within your power to manifest what you want in love, manifest things quicker, manifest things to be better for you than they currently are right now. So let's see what that is. And to figure that out, we are going to use the Moonology Oracle deck, and we are going to pull at least 2 cards. I'm feeling 2 cards. We're going to do 2 cards. Universe, what does pile 2 need to know about their action steps? What is within their power that they can do right now? What are their action steps? So your first of 2 cards is Balance, Spirituality, and Practicality, Full Moon in Pisces. So this matches really, really well with that 2 of Pentacles card from earlier. And I do see this as a sign that you actually do have a lot more say in the pacing of your romance life. The universe has a plan, but the universe is open to you changing things up a little bit. I think if you really tackle these self-care lessons and really understand your love language, both the love language that you can receive and give, then you can speed things up. The universe is open to the idea that you can change the timeline. That is within your power, but you have to do the work. You have to really tackle the self-care question. The next card is New Moon in Virgo, a time to give rather than take. So the fundamental lesson that you need to learn, yes, you need to learn what kind of love language you need to receive. This is especially important if you are someone who really struggled with abusive relationships in the past, either emotionally abusive or physically abusive. But it's not just about what you receive, you also need to know what you can give. And isn't just because the person you're going to be in a relationship with needs to receive more than you receive. This is actually because you need to make sure that you are going to be in a relationship that you can really be an equal in. And part of that equality is in how much you can give. And how much can you give before it hurts? Because you don't want to give so much or give the wrong type of love language and then it feels completely wrong to you. So definitely figure out what sort of love language that you are able to give to other people. And if you aren't currently in a romantic relationship, you may struggle with this a little bit, but you can practice it on your pets. You can practice it on family members or friends. The love languages aren't necessarily like super spicy. Even I think the fifth love language, which is touch, you pet your cat and your dog, right? That's physical touch. You hug family members. So you can practice all of the love languages without a romantic context to figure out which one it is that you really, really appreciate. And I think this is also a sign, if you don't have a pet right now, or if you haven't been spending time with your pet, it might be a really good time to do that if that is something that's possible for you to have, just because pets are really good for giving and receiving love. So the last thing we are going to do today is look at the likely outcome. And this likely outcome is what would happen if you ignored all of the advice in the reading today, if you completely forgot everything you heard that you should do, or you just disagree with the advice from the universe. What is likely to manifest? What are you trending towards? What are you going towards? So to figure that out, we are going to pull 3 final cards from the Light Seers Tarot deck to figure out your likely outcome. Universe, what is pile 2's likely outcome? What do they need to know? What is their current fate? And if this is bad, we are going to see what we can do to change it. So the first card is the Six of Pentacles. This is about giving. This is about a transfer of energy. So this is a sign that you are going to learn the love language that you need to receive and also to give. It is a clear sign that the lesson that you need to learn, you aren't resistant to it. You are going to achieve it. It's just a matter of timing. So that's good news. The second card is the Chariot. And notice how the Chariot in this particular deck is actually going at a fast pace. I think things are going to get faster for you. I think the timeline is going to speed up soon. And with the horses here, we see a yin and a yang horse, which represents the masculine and feminine energies, which makes me think of relationships. So I do think this is a confirmation that when it comes to love, things are going to get more passionate and they are going to match the timeline that you desire. So that's really, really good. And then your final card today is the Knight of Swords. This is another fast-moving card. This is a card of communication, of messages. This is a card of impulse and a little bit of erratic behavior, but I don't think that's a bad thing. I actually think that is a sign that you are going to be doing all the things that you need to do to initiate in order to manifest the love life that you would like. And really, pile 2, this is actually a super exciting reading. I know the first few cards seemed a little bit negative and it's basically saying, oh, you need to love yourself more, which obviously we always want to do that, but I do think this entire spread is indicating that already you were doing what you needed to do. Your desire is for things to happen a lot quicker, and that seems to be happening. And really all you need to do is double check your love languages, practice them, and then things are going to go in your favor when it comes to love. So, pile 2, if you resonated with this reading, be sure to like the video and subscribe for more. You can also go into the description for links to my socials or to my Ko-Fi if you would like to tip. There's also a link to book a private reading if that sounds interesting to you. Otherwise, pile 2, I can't wait to see you again, and I wish you many blessings and love. Hello, pile 3, my rose pile. Welcome to your reading. We are going to go ahead and get started by looking into your emotional state. Your emotional state is really going to affect what you need to know about love and what you can actually receive and understand. So let's go ahead and figure out what that is. And we are going to pull one card from the Lover's Oracle to get an idea of your emotional state when it comes to love right now. So, universe, what does pile 3 need to know about their emotional state? What is important and significant? All right, your first card is deep in your heart. You already know the answer. Do what feels right. And on the back, we have a woman deep in thought. It also looks like her third eye is activated. So this is a strong sign from the universe that you are actually very intuitive when it comes to relationships, especially love, but you may not be trusting of that ability right now. Maybe you've had some difficult things in the past that have made you question your ability, or maybe this is even a newfound leveling up of your intuitive strength when it comes to relationships. So what I want to do now is actually get some details on this card. And we are going to pull 2 cards from the Light Seers Tarot deck to figure out some more details of your emotional state. Universe, what are the details in 2 cards? What details are important right now? All right, your first of 2 cards is the 4 of Wands reversed. This is about missing out on some sort of celebration, especially when it comes to relationships. Upright, this could be a card of marriage. So reversed, it could be a sign that something about commitment or joy in relationships isn't working out for you, or you sense that there's something amiss. Let's get the second card. The second card is the Fool. Now this card could mean the surface meaning of the fool, of being foolish, but because this card is upright, that is traditionally seen as a positive sign. And in this card, we see the foolish girl actually holding a crystal amethyst, which is associated with spirituality and intuitive abilities. So I sense that you do believe something is amiss or that your past wasn't what it should be, but now you are very, very aware that your intuitive abilities when it comes to relationships is actually going to help you to make the right decisions and be with the people that you were meant to be with. So if you're single, this is a sign that you're going to be able to find your true love. If you're in a relationship, it means you're going to be able to truly love the other person and get them to love you. And if you are one of the minority of people who are in a relationship, but you suspect there's something amiss about that relationship, you are going to be able to identify what that is and either fix the problem or leave the relationship with your dignity intact and find a true love that is much better. Now, the next thing we're going to look at is what's influencing you. These are the positives and negatives that could be affecting your intuitive ability or the circumstances in your environment. So we are going to pull 5 cards from the Light Seers Tarot deck to figure out what these things are. Universe, what is influencing pile 3 right now? The positives, the negatives, what's going on? What do you want pile 3 to know? All right, your first of 5 cards is the Moon. This is an intuitive card. This is a card of secrets. The next card is the Death and Rebirth card. This is a card of transformation. Your third card is the Seven of Wands. This is a card of being high up, but of particular interest, it looks like this person is in a looking glass, like a fortune teller. So I think that's actually the most significant part of this card in your spread today. The fourth card is the Three of Pentacles. This is about the mind, body, spirit, working with spiritual entities as well, or working for a higher cause, I should say. And then the fifth card is the Nine of Wands card. This is a spirit guides card. This is about fighting for what you want and almost being there. So these cards that I am seeing in your spread today are rather significant. They are incredibly spiritually empowered cards, like every single one of them. The Moon obviously is a card of intuition. It is a card of secrets. It is a sign that what is being affected in your life is your intuitive ability. That is the most important thing today. Your intuitive ability isn't like a small side effect that you just need to be aware of when it comes to your emotional state. What you need to know about love primarily is your intuitive ability and how it's serving you on all levels when it comes to relationships. So you are going to be able to see things you didn't see before. The Death and Rebirth card, I think in this instance, is a transformation, a leveling up. You are going to feel like you're almost a new person when it comes to your intuitive abilities. The Seven of Wands, I'm actually not seeing the traditional meaning here. I am sensing, because of the looking, the crystal ball, not a looking glass, the crystal ball, that you are able to use divination to truly understand things. So this does include such things as tarot. It could be numerology, astrology. It could be scrying, where you look into a crystal ball or a looking glass, or any number of things. You could be looking in the environment for omens, but you could also be witnessing signs and symbols and interpreting those. The Three of Pentacles sign, it could be that you are working for a higher cause, that you are doing something important. So your ability to be intuitive isn't just a personal ability to make your relationships better. It is actually a skill that is important in other areas of your life. When it comes to your mind, body, and spirit, it is a strong connection. And I think this is also a sign that the universe gave it to you for a higher cause. So even though you can use this ability in your personal romantic life, it does have other causes, it does have other purposes. So just be aware of that. And then the last card, the Nine of Wands card, for me, this is a card of spirit guides. So yes, you have your intuitive ability, but this is also a sign that you have spirit guides working for you. So some of you, because of the Seven of Wands card with that crystal ball and this Nine of Wands card, this is actually a sign that you are going to be able to receive messages from your spirit guides and interpret those. Those messages could be signs and symbols in your environment. It could be you channeling them directly. But I do think your spirit guides are strongly involved in your intuitive ability somehow. So definitely work with them if you're not already working with them, or be open to their intervention and their advice in the future. So what I want to do now is actually look at what it is you truly desire. And what you truly desire may be the exact same thing that the universe seems to be planning for you right now, or it may be something different. Now, so far in your reading today, I've mostly been sensing your intuitive ability and how that's going to serve you, but I've not truly been seeing what you truly desire when it comes to love right now. That is kind of absent. We are mostly just seeing your amazing psychic ability. So we're actually going to look into that more. We are going to look into what it is you truly want. You may be aware of what this is, or this may be new to you. This may be an undercurrent, something that is lingering in the back of your mind, but you haven't been able to vocalize or truly understand yet. So, universe, in 3 cards, what is it that pile 3 truly desires right now? What do they truly desire when it comes to love? What does pile 3 need to know about their romantic desires? So the first of three cards is the Seven of Cups reversed. This is about not having as many options, but in particular, because you have that intuitive ability, you want to be able to know who your true love is. You want to be able to know the truth. You don't want confusion, you want clarity. It's clarity that you want in love, and you just want to know what is meant to be known. So I think some who chose this pile, yes, you have that intuitive ability, but maybe it hasn't been refined yet, so there's a lot of cloudiness. For example, I'm intuitive, but I need tarot in order to really refine those messages. Like, it is how I channel things and narrow things down. And once you find whatever your divination tool is, you are going to find that your intuitive abilities are going to be a lot clearer. So definitely work on finding your specific tool or method. The next card is the Knight of Pentacles reverse. This is about a little bit of excitement or things not being as traditional. It could also be a sign that the person that you want is going to be maybe not the traditional vision that people have for romance, which is actually really interesting because with the Seven of Cups card, this is a card of clarity, this is a card of reduced options, and it could be interpreted that you actually desire like one significant other that you could be with for a long time, perhaps the rest of your life. But with this Knight of Pentacles card, this could be a sign that even though you want that sort of traditional seeming relationship, that monogamous relationship deep down inside, you don't want a person that is traditional. You don't want a person that is the traditional vision of the monogamous partner. You want someone who is really exciting, who's really unusual. And then the third card is the Strength reversed. I think this is actually a sign that you don't want to be the person who leads a relationship. With the Strength reversed, I think you want to be the one who is led or the one who follows. And that's not to say that you are weak or anything. It could be a sign that maybe in the past you had to do a lot for your relationships when it comes to love. You had to really take control and you're just exhausted, right? You want your future partner or your current partner right now to really take control, to really come up with the ideas for dates, to initiate affection. You are tired of doing it all yourself or being expected to do it all yourself, and you want someone who is a bit more dominant, who is a bit stronger. But the interesting thing here, if you are, for example, like a man, obviously this would be you taking the more submissive role. That is obviously what is indicated here. But what if you're a woman? You may be thinking, okay, how is that working with these cards? I want this person who is non-traditional, but this card is actually indicating that I would be submissive. So this would really just be indicating your relationship and you not leading, your partner, for example, would be the more dominant partner, but they would have other traits that would be non-traditional. So yes, with this, with your spread, what you truly desire is to be a more submissive person, whoever is in this spread, but your partner themselves needs to be different in some manner. They need to not fit the archetypal vision of the masculine if they are a masculine person. And obviously, if they're a feminine person and they're the dominant person, that would already fit in there. But just be aware of that. What you truly desire is to not have to control the relationship, lead the relationship, and you still want it to be unusual without giving up the monogamy or the certainty of a partner who is committed to you. So let's go ahead and look at the action steps that you can take. These action steps are what is within your power to manifest the best romantic life possible. These are going to be things that you control. These aren't things that are passive. These are things that are action oriented. So let's go ahead and look at what that could be. We are going to pull 2 cards from the Moonology Oracle deck. Universe, what are some action steps that pile 3 can take to manifest the best possible future for themselves? And I'm thinking this may not just be like your intuitive abilities, right? These are things, actions you can take after you have that knowledge. So universe, what are these action steps? All right, your first of 2 cards is the answers you need are coming. Full moon in Gemini. So this card is significant not because it's receiving spiritual messages, but this is an intentional divination clarity. So you need to, after this reading, write down what is the thing that you need to know in order to be more certain in your relationship or in order to meet the right person. And then once you have that written down, understand that the universe is going to deliver that message, and it's going to come in whatever is your tool or method when it comes to divination, when it comes to using your intuitive abilities. So if you don't have that yet, if you've never tried that before, this is the universe's sign that the action step you need to take is to practice that tool or method. And again, there are a lot of divination methods. You could Google some if you didn't like the ones that I mentioned before. But this card, the full moon in Gemini, it is a twin card, and it could also specifically indicate that you are going to receive a message about your significant other, whether you have them right now or you're going to meet them in the future. The next card is the full moon in Virgo. You are good enough. So this is a strong sign that you don't need to practice or study your divination method. If you are completely new to the divination method of astrology or tarot, you don't have to take a whole bunch of courses in order to get good enough to receive that message. You just need to trust that whatever tools you use and whatever resources you use to look up that message is going to be enough. One of the things that I always tell people when it comes to tarot is that tarot is a very complex tool and there's always more you can learn. And sometimes you're going to have a meaning that is personal to you, but it may not be a meaning that everyone else uses. But as long as you are consistent with it within at least the reading you're doing, then it's going to make sense and the universe is going to work with your current knowledge of the tool. So understand you don't need to be an expert. The universe is going to work with the knowledge that you have in order to deliver this specific message. But I really want you to write down what that question is that you want to be answered, and then keep that in mind as you are using the tools. Now, I don't think, I actually do hope that the next time you use this tool or method, you will have this answered, but you may want to do a few quick warm-ups for other questions before you move on to this. So if you've never tried tarot before, instead of asking this question right away, try 2 or 3 practice questions just to get used to the process. And then once you feel warmed up, you can use that question to find the answer. So it can all be within a single session. You don't have to wait weeks or months or learn anything. Just do some sort of warm-up question first for whatever tool or method you are using. Now, if you are hoping for signs or symbols in your environment, this may take a little bit longer, but if that feels right to you, just be aware that you're probably not going to receive a bunch of answers right away. You may need to have 2 or 3 practice questions that you are asking your spirit guides to answer through signs and symbols, and it may take a little bit of time to receive those. But one way you can speed that up is to leave your current environment. So if you are always at home, maybe go for a walk and then ask for a sign or symbol as you are walking, something different from normal or unexpected, so that way you can use that to answer your questions. So pile 3, the last thing we are going to do today is the likely outcome. And we're not seeing any negative things in your spread today. We are mostly seeing indications about your intuitive abilities and how you can use them for love, but we haven't really seen any sign of your near future, right? So with this likely outcome, what we are going to look for in the final 3 cards is, what is the next chapter of your love life? What is going to happen? What do you need to be aware of? What's that narrative? So, universe, what is going to be happening to pile 3 soon when it comes to love? What does pile 3 need to know about their near future? What does pile 3 need to know? All right, your first of 3 cards is the 6 of Cups. This could be happiness. It could be someone asking you out. That is a possibility with the 6 of Cups card. It could be an ex returning to you, but it's a very positive energy. It also indicates mental ease and just general happiness, so that's a good sign. We have the Knight of Wands. I think this pairs with the Knight of Pentacles, and it is a sign that someone is going to make an overture to you. If you are single, someone is going to ask you out. Someone's going to take the lead. You might need to flirt with them and encourage them, but they are going to take the lead and ask you out. If you are in a relationship, this is actually a sign that your partner is going to be more dominant. They are going to initiate more, so that's really exciting. And then the last card today is the Hanged Man reversed, which is about you not having to make a sacrifice. But I think in this particular context in your spread, it is indicating you don't have to take action. So I am really happy to see that the thing that you're desiring, that you don't have to lead in your relationship, your current one or your future one, that is actually indicated in your near future. You are going to be happy with your relationship or your new relationship. Your partner is going to take the lead. Notice too, there is a lion here, and in the traditional strength card, there is a lion here. And because it's reversed, you aren't taking on the role of the lion, but your partner is. Your partner is taking the lead. They are going to be the leader of your relationship lion pack. And the Hanged Man, you don't have to make any sacrifices. The universe or your partner is really doing a lot of the action. So the takeaway message here is, use your intuitive abilities, figure out the question that you want answered, the most important question that you want answered, and then do it. And then just know that already, even if you don't do that, it seems like the universe is already setting things up to where you are going to be happy in your relationship. Your partner or future partner is going to take the lead, and you're actually not going to have to do very much. So this is a pretty kind of passive spread, but I think that's just because you are in your intuitive era where you are receiving things, and maybe that's one of the reasons why you are interested in your partner being more dominant just because you're trying to get familiar with that intuitive reception. So, pile 3, I love your spread today. It's very positive, it's very interesting. It shows that you are developing your psychic powers and you are going to have an exciting romantic future. If you resonated with this reading, be sure to like the video and subscribe for more. You can also go into the description where there are links to my socials and my Ko-Fi to tip. You can also use those links to book a private reading if that's interesting to you. Otherwise, pile 3, I wish you many blessings and I hope you have a lot of fun in your future romantic story.